guys, I must say I'm really elated right now to come your way once again. Of course, the show is SlayersTV, where everything stays absolute class. My name is Fresca Didi Aya, and
my name is Madeline Adi, and yes, everything stays absolute class. Today promises to be another exciting one. Let's take a break, and when we come back, it is Slayers 360. Do stay with us.
Guys, welcome back to the show. It's SlayersTV if you just joined us. And well, you do know that most recently the fashion industry has taken, a different shift, actually a major shift in terms of, gathering inspiration for designs and trends as a result of social media. Well, joining us to discuss social media, fashion and trends is our very own Kofi Lane. He is a TV and radio anchor and also a fashion follower, serious one. And also our regular, beautiful, fashion blogger, Ms. Dagati. Hi. It's great to have you guys. I'm so excited. I'm really honored to have you on the show.
So much, and I've seen it a few times, so I'm really excited.
We're glad.
Thank you. Anyway. All right, so we are talking about social media and popular social media fashion trends. Who is the ultimate determiner for fashion trends on social media? Is it the blogger, the designer, or the influencer?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What is the difference between a blogger, an influencer, or a designer? Okay. Right? These are key things that I think are becoming very prominent lately. So we have someone like Ifua Reader who says she's an influencer. Yes. Then we have yourself.
And yourself.
And yourself.
And myself.
Yes.
I think I'll call myself a blogger.
Okay.
I like to show what is happening out there and inform people. But most importantly, I think it's important that people understand the roots of where things are coming from. Right. More often than not, we see styles and we just assume, oh, this is nice. But do we need to educate people and tell them that this has actually come from the Indian culture? Somewhere Ethiopian, that's where it was founded, and it's eventually spread through to Paris, the catwalk, and then now we've adopted it in Ghana. These are all stories that I think we need to start telling. So yeah, interesting question. Everybody can get up these days and say they are a blogger, an influencer, etc. I think the key things you should look out for is knowledge. What is the person's background? Who are they? Where are they coming from? And it's then up to that. And based on that, you're able to determine whether or not the person knows what they're talking about as well, right?
Yes. Ms. Agati, I need you to add up.
Yeah, sure. So to talk about who determines what is going to be a trend or not, I think it's a mixture of everything. Like you said, something starts from some country you've never even heard of, and then all of a sudden it finds its way on the catwalks, and then everybody is wearing it. Yeah, so fashion designers, bloggers, influencers, and everyday people influence fashion. But then it becomes a trend when it finds its way on the major catwalks.
Now, speaking of finding its ways to the major catwalk, I mean, how does it get viral? First on the social media, and then finding its way to the catwalk.
I think social media is very interesting. Yeah. Somebody, an influencer or a blogger who has maybe a major following, posts a picture of an outfit or an item that they like, and then it gets so many likes, and the next thing you know, it's the designers are even running out of stock. So I think mostly it's the bloggers and influencers who make things go viral.
Interesting.
Yes.
How do social media trends influence the consumer?
Okay, so these days people are always looking for inspiration. People are always looking for something that when they wear, everybody's going to be like, wow. So we go on social media a lot to find inspiration, to find online shops, to see, okay, where does this blogger shop from? Where does this influencer buy her stuff? So I think it affects consumers in the sense that people are now looking up to social media to make decisions. So social media marketing is very big now, and brands they already are paying so much attention to influencers and bloggers.
You know, not too long ago, before you can visit your designer, or just when you visit your designer, they usually have a calendar of, you know, styles, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Of, yeah, what
they
ladies
even
are.
for sale sometimes, these calendars with all the styles.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, it has shifted to social media. Every now and then, people go onto social media to figure out what they want to wear today or the next day. True or false?
True. And sometimes nowadays you go to your designer with your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, I want this. You scroll. I've done it before. I just go to the page of the person. I scroll up. Okay, this is what I want. Can you make it for me? You know. Yeah, it's happening now.
And it's so easy now to do a screenshot.
Yeah.
And put it in a WhatsApp chat room and forward it to someone and so on. If you're looking through these styles and you're looking for something to wear, you shouldn't be ever short of options, you know, because there's options out there. Let's not forget Pinterest as well. Everything is available in Pinterest. You put one style, you say soiree, afternoon soiree on Sunday, and Pinterest will ping up so many things to you. So these things are great, but it's very important that you just don't follow blindly, right? So if someone is wearing in Dubai, and it looks good in Dubai, and they're a millionaire, and they're being driven by their chauffeur,
right,
doesn't mean that you can just pull it off on a soiree here. So it's always important to have that relativity going for you. But yeah, interestingly, I think fashion is going in that direction where influencers and bloggers will eventually be the ones who dictate the trend, not the designers.
So is social media affecting the fashion marketing?
Very key.
Those with the boutique.
Sorry.
Now you'd have to take your phone to the designer to redesign something else for you instead of you going to the boutique to buy.
The biggest thing for me here is acknowledgement and giving credit.
Yeah.
There are people who do this that are very good at that, you know, for a reader and a few others. And yourself, you know, if you wear an outfit, it's very important that you talk about the outfit, what has inspired the outfit, where it's coming from, who made it. That's the most important part.
Right.
Now, if that correlation is happening between the bloggers and the designers as well as the influencers, once that is happening, you're okay. You know, Christy Brown designed this beautiful necklace thing, beaded necklace thing, and so many people have taken it up and are using it. And when they actually use it, nobody's actually giving credit to the fact that it originated with Christy Brown.
Maybe because they bought it. You know, when it's a sponsorship, you do that, but when you buy with your money.
but we are in an era, especially in Ghana, where you're not able to patent a design and say it's mine, all mine. You know, and that fashion industry is catching up with that. So it's very important, I think, that fashion bloggers and stylists, etc., have that responsibility to actually mention who inspired it, where it's come from, and maybe other details like, you know, the designer and the fabric, etc.
Okay, so let's look at the cult gear bamboo bag on the screen now, which is becoming, I think it's becoming a cliche. Are we loving it?
I've got to say that I totally love the bag. Okay, I think it's very inventful, it's different. I've seen all sorts of stuff out there now. The little clutches that look like bird nests, and all these beautiful diamond-studded, in Ghana we call them pelems.
Like the globes too.
Yeah, I think they're great. Now this bag, I think, yes, it's been abused a little bit and too many people are using it. But you know, I would like to see someone be a little bit creative with it.
Okay.
The bag is see-through. That's a key fundamental part here. So get some giant accessories that are colorful and throw them in. So they just rock that color that's inside it. I want to see somebody also tie maybe a mini scarf, you know, on it, just hanging off it, you know, something silky, just to give it that extra je ne sais quoi, the va-va-voom.
You know. Yeah. Or probably a simple lining in the inside so that you don't have your items falling out of it.
Or be seen. So if you're wearing red like this, I think as you've got this Louboutin thing going on there, that lining could be red inside the bag. And it just complements what you're wearing.
Okay. Now, speaking of the effect on, you know, social media on the fashion market, we've touched on the negative where people do duplicates because, as you mentioned, you see something in Dubai, you want your designer to, you know, make something in that sort for you. Let's look at the positive side of it. How does it, you know, have a positive impact on the fashion market?
Okay, so first of all, I think then there's a lot of inspiration because social media now is bringing us ideas from all over the world. But the key thing is acknowledgement. You take, if a design inspires you, for instance, there was a popular case that happened in Ghana. I don't want to refer to it. It'll look like I keep referring to it. But then if you draw inspiration from an item, it's only nice and, you know, ethical that you acknowledge the original designer, which is what I don't see a lot with our designers. Aside that, I think it's a good thing. People build on ideas and eventually we get new ideas. So I think it's a good idea to...
Yeah, right. So which of the parties do benefit more from social media? Is it the designer or the consumer? Who benefits more?
I think like it's the both. Yes.
Let me give you a scenario. An iPhone, right, is made by Apple, right? Okay. Now there are some Chinese companies making iPhones.
iPhone, yeah.
Right? Okay. So how do you tell the difference? Right? So it's up to the people who make these items to try and signify to the mass populace of people who are buying these items to say, if you want a real iPhone, these are the key features you should be looking out for. And there's nothing, identity is key. There's nothing wrong with having red soles and saying, we are known for red soles. You can put red soles under yours, but when you scratch them, ours don't come off that easily. People need to start creating exclusivity with their ranges and brands in such a way that attached to it is a slogan or a catchphrase or a hashtag that says, if this item you didn't, when you bought it, doesn't have two people's names in the logo, then it's not the collaboration item that you are looking to purchase. Everywhere it's posted. So people don't go around saying, look at my Hermes belt, when it's not really a Hermes belt.
You know, the sad thing is that in Ghana, people don't even know what an original Hermes or even a Louis Vuitton bag is.
And some people.
Some people. Yeah, sorry. Of course, I don't mean everyone, but some people. The interesting thing is that you see people, you know you bought the bag for maybe 200 Ghana cedis, and you put it on social media and you tag Louis Vuitton. I think that is a sad case of ignorance, you know. And our celebrities should, you know, discourage the trend whereby, you know, some celebrities, not all of them, they use, you know, should I call them dupes and fake items, and they want to tag the brands and make it look like they actually invest in those
the original brands.
Brands. It's a no-no.
So I kind of certainly agree that public personalities and celebrities have a responsibility as well, because they wear these items and they acknowledge them. But I think when you start talking about international brands like Gucci, Hermes, etc., social media is allowing people to perpetuate what is actually not real. So you're getting a lot of people wearing brands and pretending they are the real thing when it actually isn't. And it's hurting the originators of the brands, certainly. Like in Ghana, we have a problem because we don't have, this might be something we take to the government to resolve in terms of things that are being shipped into the country, because we're allowing anything and everything to come into our, so yes, I can buy a designer belt easily if I go to Damascus or wherever you buy you know, clothes from, right? So I guess what I think a lot of public personalities should try and do is try and avoid saying it's a designer when it isn't. But equally, we're feeding a lot of people on Instagram and some of these social media, making people think all this is accessible. So people think, if she's got a Hermes belt, I can afford one. A Hermes belt costs $1,000.
Wow.
Yes, a Gucci belt, nothing less than $800. Okay, so if we actually have these things and we're showing them out on social media for everybody to see, then what is going to happen to a 16-year-old who's just finishing GIS? She's going to think that I also want these things because the celebrities are wearing them. So not all celebrities are wearing fake stuff, but those who make it look like it's easy to get access to it. Well, the question I guess we got to ask is, their jobs that they are doing, does it pay them enough for them to be buying all these expensive gear?
There's been a
Interesting
lot of
question
about that. There's been a lot, even yesterday I think I saw something like that. There's been a lot of talk about that. Most of them are wearing fake, thinking they're wearing the original design, and then they think
the real thing. You have to question where they're getting them from, because their jobs as actors and actors and TV personalities do not facilitate them to be able to afford these things. It's a delicate topic that I'm sure.
Certainly.
You have to talk about this on another.
But ideally, how long should a trend last?
Oh, I think trends can go forever. I like it when trends start and come back. So the Bass, it was a 70s look where we used to have these bootleg cuts, right? And it was a 70s thing, early 60s, late 60s, early 70s, and it's come back. right? We had boot cuts coming back in the mid-80s and then the 90s, and it's gone again. So at some point, we're expecting it to come back. So slender trousers for men now, tight fitting, you know, that we have a lot of that for ladies as well. But the bootleg cut is coming back, and it will have its own time where it comes back. I think trends are timeless. You know, if it lands properly, it's bound to come back at some point. It may not be in our era, but it will come back at some point. What you're wearing, I believe, is a jumpsuit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if I tell you where jumpsuits originated, it's Motown, it's old school, but it's come back with a bang. So I think it's timeless, in my opinion.
Definitely.
I can't wait for the bootleg to come back.
Again, you can. Oh, I see. Interesting. Well, so looking at the, you know, the cyber fashion market and then the brick and mortar, do you think the brick and mortar will be dwindling as a result of the, you know, the cyber fashion market? Because now everybody is going to, you know, social media to figure out what they want to wear, and sometimes they hook up with their designers on social media. Today, I know designers who do not have a brick and mortar establishment. Yeah, they just come to you, your house, take your measurements. I think I saw something happening around here a few minutes ago. You know, you don't have to go to the store. Do you think there's, you know, an effect from social media, you know, cyber fashion market to the brick and mortar?
Definitely. Online stores are becoming more accessible to people. I don't need to drive. You know, the convenience of shopping online. You're lying in bed, you know, just sitting on the sofa being lazy, and then you can just order something, receive it within 3 days, maximum 2 weeks. I mean, it's enormous. So in that regard, physical stores are going to, you know, we're going to see a decline in that. People are not going to have the time to drive around looking for clothes. They just have one app and they can access all the latest trends and everything they want. And the sad case is that in Ghana, sometimes you don't get everything you want when it is trending. So for someone like me with big feet, you know, it's very difficult shopping for shoes in Ghana. So I never even try it. Just go online, order what you want, and like 3 days, within 3 days, you have it.
I know somewhere that takes about 2 weeks to get what you want.
It depends.
But if you're in a hurry or you're impatient like me, you just express. And then you get to the next 3 days.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think from my perspective, I think where I've seen an interesting fluctuation in the UK or other parts of the world, when you want something made for you bespoke, it's extremely expensive, i.e. a suit or a tailored outfit for a lady. Bespoke items are extremely expensive. When you buy it off the shelf, it's cheap if it fits you. Here, on the other hand, it's the opposite. People, you can walk into your tailor any day or your seamstress and tell them what they want and they'll do it for you, right? And it's probably cheaper than going to a boutique to buy it. You see the flip, right? So I like that cultural thing. Since I've been here, I've done at least, I'll say 50 designs that I've personally designed for men's traditional outfits, and I've drawn them physically and they've made them for me. Beautiful. Where else in this world can I do that? I can't do that in the UK, I can't do that in the US, maybe a little bit in the US. But I almost felt like I'd become a designer myself. Just being able to sketch something to a great tailor, telling them to do it, and then they produced it for me. So I think there's a room for both, and we have to be careful that we don't let go of our core traditions, that kiosk, that the sofa, we need it still. You know, equally as we need the boutique pick off the shelf kind of scenario.
So then how do you use social media to gain fashion inspiration?
So for me, I think I have a very creative mind. So I don't rely on anyone or anything for that. Social media, I don't look at men's trends, etc. I have a vague idea because I walk around shops, unlike the usual guy, and I look and I take my time looking not only at men's clothes, equally as ladies. So I don't rely too much on social media. I go on, you know, Pinterest a little bit, but because I have a creative mind, I can tell what works instantly when you put it together. Either because I've seen it before, but it's not on social media, on someone. So I made a quick assertion of all three ladies sitting here right now and what you're wearing, your styles, what influences your styles. And I can tell if I had to pick an outfit, which of the three of you I'll give it to. Based on what I have seen you wear so far and in your characteristics and your mannerisms. Now, not everybody can do this, right? So To inspire yourself, first and foremost, you need to understand you. Everybody needs to understand you. And once you have a good understanding of who you are and what works for you, then I think you're able to influence what you're wearing and how people perceive what you're wearing.
All right, so Kofi, quickly, what kind of trend is making you go wow or
I call them designs that make you go
And then the ones that make you go wow.
So I've managed to create my own hashtag of designs that make you go and I post periodically some nice outfits that I will encounter on the web, on Pinterest. I try not to look at other people's walls because I want it to be different and original.
Okay, so now let's look at a top like this, which is very trendy now. Do you think it should stay or it should, it should go?
For me, I have a love-hate relationship with this top. You know, the first time I saw it, the name of the original designer, and I repeat, the original designer, because it's trended so much that nobody's even talking about the original designer. Johanna Ortiz, she's a Colombian designer.
Oh.
Yes. The original design, when I saw it, of course, I couldn't afford it. I just go and look at it and pass, look at it and pass. And then all of a sudden, it was everywhere. And well, was I happy? I felt sad for the designer, but was I happy? People got to wear it. They loved it and they got to wear it. I mean, spending £600 for just a top. Well, I hope to be there someday, so. But then I love it, and I hate the fact that there are just so many fakes in the system. So I love it. At the same time, I hate it.
But don't you think it's giving you the opportunity to rock, you know, one of it, and then you don't have to buy it so expensively?
I refused to buy one for a very long time, very, very long time. I only bought it when the trend died out, and yeah, I still don't feel good wearing it because I thought that it was really creative and she should have gotten all that revenue, sadly.
Wow.
I've just got a comment on this. I think it's a very inventive piece. Whoever, you know, Johanna Ortiz, you said, came up with this, and I think it's beautiful. For this to work, it's got to be either of three things. It's got to be a plain color. If it's striped, then it has to be bold stripes, big, chunky, bold stripes. There's got to be a plain color, white as an example, with jeans I think will work. But the fabric is so important because the amount of creases that they are trying to deliberately create, if you get the fabric wrong, it becomes a mishmash. I have put one of these up and I do hope that I got the designer right. But you could tell the creases almost stood proud. This particular one, you can tell the creases are struggling a little bit. So this might be a typical situation of if you're going to do an imitation, do it properly and use the right fabric. Mini stripes, can't tell whether it's stripes, not working for me.
Not working.
Would you wear something because it is trendy?
I will dress trendy, yes. I don't mind if something's trending and I hit one and I thought, yeah, why not? You know, certainly. But don't follow blindly because you need to understand you. If my thighs is about the size of a horse's thigh and tight jeans are in and I go and wear one and they're literally ripping at the seams. You know, just getting that balance. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So,
interesting.
Yeah, we've had a pretty much lengthy conversation on, you know, social media and fashion trends, and it's been very informative. I've enjoyed it totally. All right, so moving on to our next photo. This is a very trendy outfit, outlook, as a matter of fact, and it's a pajamas. Ms. Agati.
Well, the pajamas,
the
pajama trend, I kind of like it. But then it depends on how and where it is worn. Imagine wearing this to Makola. I don't think it will work. It's more like a holiday, you know, I have my chauffeur kind of look, you know. Yeah, it's all bougie, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like the way Toke wore it. Like, it should be loose, you know, to give it that luxurious effect, you know. So I think like this, I would go for it 100%.
You know, originally the pajamas wasn't designed for an exterior environment.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think this is classy
outside,
though.
yeah.
I think the way it's been done here is classy. I've got to say though that it's all about relativity. It's very important that you understand that this lady is probably wearing a $5,000 sunglasses. Her chain is probably another $2,000. And she's probably rocking some simple Gucci or Hermes slippers or whatever. You see, setting, New York, right? Setting, chauffeur. Setting, rich husband. Setting, I can't be bothered. Setting, I have money in excess, so it doesn't matter. Simon Cowell, right? Wears a t-shirt. He's probably one of the richest men on this planet. And so is Richard Branson. He always wears a white, simple shirt.
Don't you think that's just being careless with fashion? Because you have the money, you can just throw on anything and wear on any day.
But is that not creating a different statement or trend?
Right.
Trend is all about who is actually selling that. You see, in Ghana, if you wore this, they'll be like, hey, no. She came out with the pajamas. Can you imagine? It won't work. However rich you think you are, you've got to be in the right setting. Holidays, certainly. A nice holiday will work as well. So me, I can see this. This particular one works. Some pajamas with too many patterns, I don't think it works. This plain one, it gives you a bit of an edgy look. There's got a whole tracksuit feel going on there. So it works. Will I wear pajamas out? No.
Okay.
Not for me. But so, I could see what she's doing.
Okay, so should pajamas stay or should go?
I think if they're all like this, definitely they should stay.
Okay. All right, guys, so it's been an interesting one. Thank you so much for the education. But let's take a break. When we come back, we'll move on straight to our social media slayer. Do stay with us. All right, welcome back. And today on our social media slayer, we do have Dupi all the way from Nigeria.
Yes, of course, all the way from Nigeria is Dupi. She's a fashionista. She's a fashion blogger as well. And here is her very first photograph.
Very, very stylish. Kofi?
Kofi.
I know, I can see you like her.
I've looked at a lot of her pictures on Instagram. I don't like this particular top and how it's come across in this picture. But looking at her pictures, you can tell she's fast-paced. She's not scared of color
at all.
And she infuses all sorts of styles. She's not sticking to a particular, either a traditionalist or contemporary. She can wear anything and she can rock it. I can see her in a t-shirt, shorts and trainers on a beach with a baseball cap, rocking that look as well. I like it. I think she's quite versatile.
And she looks perfect in them.
I definitely agree.
I also agree with Kofi. When you go through her page, you see somebody who is having fun. She's bubbly. She always has a beautiful smile all the time in all her photos, and she serves a lot of color, which is what I like. Patterns, African prints, stripes. She's just not afraid of anything.
Okay, all right, guys. So you can go on Instagram right now and then check out Dupi. She is our social media slayer.
It's been absolutely wonderful hanging out with you guys. I have enjoyed it all the way through. Thank you so much, Ms. Dagati, for coming, and Kofi. Welcome. We hope to see you once again.
Oh, I love the show. I must say. Anything to do with fashion, just call me and I'll be here.
I know, right? We will.
Certainly. Now it's time for us to go. But just before that, of course, our beautiful outfit is from Mahalia collection inside this Lego on Precisely Bowlish. Check them out if you want to look this pretty as I'm looking right about now.
And our makeup is by Confidential Makeup Artist. Me on Instagram and Facebook, SlayersTV on Facebook. Instagram is SlayersTVGH. Twitter is SlayersTVGH. On YouTube is SlayersTV Ghana. My name is Madeline Ade.
And my name is Priska Dede. I have a blissful one, guys.
Keep slaying.